Have much liquid in there, so this is going to help keep this rich and moist also, while adding plenty of flavor. This is one of your indulgent dinners, which is why it was fit for special occasions. Super easy. You can have this prepared in less than 10 minutes, and now it goes into the oven 400 degrees for about an hour. All right, Mamaw, how did we do? Still not the prettiest thing you've ever seen, but just wait. Gonna add a little fresh greenery, and then because I do like having the roof of my mouth, I'm gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes or so before we serve it. My favorite comfort casserole is this, chicken and rice. So creamy, and a little crack of pepper. Was there ever a more comforting casserole from your childhood? I think not. As it sits, it'll come together even more, but I like it, really creamy like this. We were just hitting home run after home run. It's exactly like what you remember. It hits every time. The rice is cooked perfectly. The chicken is so tender, it falls apart. When company comes over next, I might remind them of their childhood with this one. A+. You know what else was a big part of my childhood? Sleepovers. You know what my mom would make every time I had a sleepover? Monkey bread. If monkey bread isn't the most iconic 80s breakfast, I don't know what is. Simple ingredients, canned biscuits, sugar and cinnamon, and of course, butter. And my mom had a little trick, and I'm gonna do it the way she used to make it. Take our biscuits and we cut them into bite-sized pieces. Now, when I was a kid, we didn't have this size biscuit. They only had the regular biscuits, and I remember my mom used to use 4 cans. This is adapted now. I like cutting it into smaller pieces so that there are more chances for the gooiness to get around each piece. Okay, now what she would do. It's like the modern recipes call for plastic bags. Not my mom. The paper grocery bag. You throw your cinnamon and sugar in the bag and you give it a shake with the biscuit pieces. We'll see if Mom's way was the better way. I think we can get all our biscuits in at one time. That's gonna be the bonus. I feel a disaster might be coming. Oh, it's working. This is easier because with the plastic bag, you've got to do it in stages. Each piece is coated. Call Mom. Nico.
Hello.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, Nicole.
I'm making monkey bread
Yes.
from my childhood.
Yes.
Didn't you always shake it in a grocery bag, paper grocery bag?
A paper bag. I sure did. A brown paper bag.
Okay, well, we think that's very smart.
Okay.
Now take your greased bundt pan or tube pan. Now you've got to make the gooey glue that holds it all together, also known as the best part. The glaze is super simple. It's just a stick of butter and a cup of brown sugar. Melt that together over the stove. You're gonna bring it to a boil it for 1 minute, and then we pour it over our biscuits. Gosh, cinnamon sugar covered in butter and more sugar. I don't know why we liked this as a kid. Into the oven, 350 degrees. Once it's cooked, let it sit for about 10 minutes before we flip it out. I'm telling you, it smells like Saturday morning. This is the moment of truth. Perfection. This is what I remember. And, I know you can cut it into slices. Nobody does that. Everybody stands around the kitchen island and eats it like this. And we're all still here alive to talk about it. Now, kid me might have had orange juice. Grown-up me is gonna have coffee with this. It only seems right. Do you see the level of sugary coating to bread? That's a good ratio. That's thanks to the bite-sized pieces. Perfect bite. The buttery sugar coating melts in your mouth. Feels so sophisticated. Monkey bread, you can never go wrong. This is the way you make it. This is the way you eat it. It's another one. If you have not done this in a while, here's your sign. No 80s childhood is complete without a TV dinner. The only time I really remember having TV dinners was when we would go spend the night at my grandmother's house, and on the way there, we would stop at the grocery store. My brothers and I would get to pick out our own TV dinner. I'm not sure I remember the one I always got, but I definitely know the most popular is the Salisbury steak TV dinner, complete with mashed potatoes and gravy, green beans, and a dessert. A little salt and pepper. While I did love a TV dinner, I don't know that I've ever even bought my kids one. Buying something like that now feels a little weird considering I cook for a living. But I do buy other convenience products Not sure why I haven't bought this before. Seems like mystery meat now. So that's the benefit of making our own. We know exactly what we're getting. In goes an egg, a little bit of dry mustard, a little soy sauce, some ketchup. Give that a mix, then I'll stir in breadcrumbs. Okay, that's the mix, and that took a minute. Recipe calls to cover and chill this for a little while just so everything comes together. Meanwhile, I'm gonna chop an onion because we are going to make the homemade gravy. So we're going to cook our Salisbury steaks, and in the drippings, we'll make the gravy. And the gravy we're making is a mushroom gravy because we are grown-ups now. Although you can leave out the onions and the mushrooms if you want and still have a gravy. Still, at the end of the day, this meal is made with a bunch of pantry staples. All you really need is the pack of ground beef. All right, we're just gonna make our patties and put them straight in our skillet. We're gonna cook these patties in butter, of course. Get a couple pats in there to melt. Classically, Salisbury steak patties are shaped slightly more oval than a hamburger patty, so it's not quite round, a little more oval. The recipe I'm following has you make the gravy first, then the steaks, and then put the two together. My gut tells me to make the steaks first. That way we can use the drippings to make a more delicious gravy. Okay, just a couple minutes per side. We're gonna finish cooking them in the gravy so they don't have to be fully cooked at this point. You just want some good browning, like that. That's thanks to the butter. These smell so good. About 2 minutes on this side, I'm gonna pull them out. See all that good flavor? I'm gonna add in 1 more tablespoon of butter too. Then goes the onion and mushrooms. I'm gonna cook this up a little bit. I'm gonna cook this until those mushrooms are softened and browned. Now we turn it into gravy with some flour. Cut that down a little bit. In with the beef broth. No mystery meat here. No mystery ingredients. That looks good and grown up. I'm gonna bring this to a simmer, that way you can see how thick it's gonna be, and then we'll go back in with our Salisbury steaks to finish cooking and to absorb all that flavor. Oh wait, I have to season it. I'm gonna season this up the same way I season the Salisbury steaks. I'm gonna add in a little ketchup and a little Worcestershire. Definitely some pepper. I'm gonna taste it first before I add in salt. A little bit of salt. And now I'm gonna nestle the Salisbury steak right back in. I'm just gonna let this go just about 5 more minutes. Meanwhile, we'll get our mashed potatoes ready, because you gotta have something to soak up all this gravy. Now, I had nothing against instant mashed potatoes when I was younger. Well, I still don't really, if I'm being honest. You know that's what came in the TV dinner. Since we are making updated grown-up versions, we're going from scratch. So I've just got some potatoes that I've cooked, and then in goes some melted butter and milk. Before chips and dip was my favorite food, mashed potatoes and gravy was my favorite food. I ate it every day at school. Now, the biggest treat is how we plated up. I had to do it. Had to get the kids' plate out for this one. My friend made me some delicious brownies. Got the green beans to match the picture. And now for the best part. Plus, you get more when you make it at home. There were some teeny portions in those things. TV dinner. As my kids say, that's a TV dinner from the 1900s. All right, going in for the perfect TV dinner bite. A little mashed potato, a little Salisbury steak. We are 5 for 5 of the best recreations of my childhood. Look how tender that Salisbury steak is. No knife required, and it's no processed junk either. Oh my God, you know what I mean? I feel like you can taste it, can't you? About 7 million times better than anything that comes out of the freezer section, I'll tell you that. This right here has been a fun trip down memory lane. I would love to know what your favorite childhood classic recipe is, and maybe I'll recreate that one too.